Hello, welcome to An Tain Arts Centre's launch of Motion Marks, the latest in our off-site programme. I'm here with artist Órlaith Cullinane. And Órlaith, can you tell me how this project came about?
Yeah, well, I basically put in an application. An Tain put out a call out for ideas for their Artists Assemble programme last autumn time, I think it was. They wanted some work that was able to be exhibited off-site since the gallery and so on was closed. So I came up with this idea of these flags that were going to be hung around the town and put that application in, and thankfully it was accepted and commissioned.
So Órlaith, I remember when the project came in, it had dancers and it had flags, and I was very excited about it, but tell me how we got from there to where we are today.
So I've been working with the dancer, Fiona Keenan O'Brien, and so I would ask her to just improvise dance to different soundtracks and so on, and I would draw her in motion. So it was more about that kind of energy and essence of the motion. And I have always been looking to develop it in a certain way, but I thought, well, is there something I can do with that work that I've been working on for a few years and kind of make it for an outdoor venue? I don't know, the flags just came to me in a flash of inspiration. I thought, well, there's flags blowing in the wind and, that'll provide the motion in the dancers and in the figures. So that was what drove the decision to have the flags. And also it was quite convenient that Fiona was also dancer in residence in An Tain, so it kind of tied together quite well. The concept, or I suppose if you want to call the underlying theme that I was asking Fiona to work with, was around the ideas of restriction and limitations, given the year we've just had, but also how you can adapt to those and how you can even thrive within those limitations. And in a way that concept kind of fed into the whole process, if you want, because we were having to work within the larger limitations of not being able to get together to do the drawing sessions, having to do them over Zoom. That whole concept of restrictions and adaptation worked really well. And actually what I found through it was how limitations can actually act as a creative kind of scaffold or springboard to allow you to kind of go in various other directions. So that worked really well. The flags as well, once we started working on them and I came to the whole, I started thinking about flags, and they're just really rich in symbolism and metaphor. They've all these they can be really divisive. They're like identity, they're rallying points, they're the mark boundaries, the mark territories. So that kind of can add a lot of layers of interpretation to how, personal space, all these kind of boundaries, how the work can be interpreted. And also, I was thinking we have 2 artistic disciplines, could we make it 3, like working in 3s? I thought of the idea of, could I get a musician to compose some sort of soundtrack or audio piece that would go along with it, and that you would be able to listen to as you were on location watching the flags. So with that, I asked Zoe Conway, who is also conveniently musician in residence at the Tain at the minute. I asked her would she be interested in composing a track, which she has done, and it's absolutely beautiful. So it's called Brushstrokes on Canvas, and she actually incorporated the sound of brushstrokes into the mix. So it's a really, really lovely wee 2-minute piece, and you can actually listen to that by scanning a QR code that we've printed on posters. So they're going to be on various shops and shop and windows near to where the flags are hanging.
So I'm with Fiona Keenan O'Brien here, the dancer who we just spoke about. So can you tell me, Fiona, how this was for you, and maybe how the actual sessions were for you?
Yeah, they were great fun, actually. Orla actually gave me a lot of freedom, even though one of the kind of themes she wanted to investigate was restriction. But for me, here I was in a space and I was allowed and encouraged to do whatever I wanted. I could move whatever way I wanted. And yeah, I found it very freeing, actually, overall, the experience.
One final question. For everybody who's watching this, what we want people to do is come out and see the flags. You'll be able to see behind me here outside the County Museum. There's a number of flags. Behind the camera on top of the Town Hall An Tain Arts Centre building is a very large piece. And then along the Long Walk and Adelphi, there's a load more flags. So Fiona, how does it feel to have yourself, 40 different flags in Dundalk of yourself?
Yeah, dance is taking over. I love it. I feel very honoured actually, and quite privileged to be up there. I love as well the fact that the movement keeps going because of the wind and how the wind influences the actual flags itself. So it feels like I'm still dancing.
We moved over to our second location here in the town. We put the masks on because we want to get nice and close to this. Is Zoe Conway, the musician on the project. So, if I can just ask you, how did you get involved in the project, and what was your involvement?
Well, Órlaith invited me, I think because I was part of An Tain, I was doing the residency there, and she thought it might be nice to kind of reach out and try and do something collaboratively.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lovely time actually over and back with the emails, because obviously we couldn't meet up in person. And I was able to even join in a Zoom meeting between Órlaith and Fiona when they were kind of working together to come up with some ideas musically, what I might do to create some music to go with these gorgeous flags behind us here on the street. And I thought it would be really nice to pick something not too long, because I was aware that people might be out on the street and they don't want to be standing there for 10 minutes if it was a very cool day. So I picked something nice and short, and I kind of matched in with the rhythms that Fiona was using in her dance to kind of show off, I suppose, the shapes that Órlaith was using. And as well, another idea I had for the piece was to use brush strokes, because I really love that sound actually of a brush stroke on canvas, and I was kind of really taken with Órlaith's work and the way it's so fluid and so fast. It's just incredible. So we all kind of came together, and we're so delighted with the end result. I mean, I can't believe it here on the streets in Dundalk. It's just such a pleasure.
So you'll see posters in the windows, and on the posters is a QR code. Just hold your phone up to that, and that'll take you to the musical track that Zoe has composed, and you can listen to that while looking at the flags. The exhibition is up for a month now, so you've got a month to come out and view it. So we would say on your evening walk, just come along, have a look at it, scan the QR code, and enjoy this wonderful project by three artists. Thanks very much, and we hope to see you soon.